The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus entered Jericho and was going through the town when a man whose name was Zacchaeus made his appearance. He was one of the senior tax collectors and a wealthy man. He was anxious to see what kind of man Jesus was, but he was too short and could not see him for the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to catch a glimpse of Jesus who was passed that way. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and spoke to him, "Zacchaeus, come down, hurry, because I must stay at your house today." And he hurried down and welcomed him joyfully. They all complained when they saw what was happening. "He has gone to stay at a sinner's house," they said. But Zacchaeus stood his ground and said to the Lord, "Lord, look, sir, I am going to give half of my property to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody, I will pay back 4 times the amount." And Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man has come to seek out and save what was lost." The Gospel of the Lord. This is exactly what Pope Francis is doing. I shall explain why. First of all, who is this Zacchaeus? It says here, a senior tax collector. This does not mean that he was head of the inland revenue, of course. Tax collectors went from house to house to collect taxes, and for the Romans and for the temple, and very often they overcharged. So they became extremely rich at the expense of others. In fact, together with prostitutes and adulterers, etc., they were outcasts. They were judged especially by the Pharisees, and that is why the people grumbled when they saw that Jesus had gone into Zacchaeus' house. He has gone to a sinner. So what happened actually inside the mind and in the heart of Zacchaeus? First of all, it was curiosity. Who is this Jesus? He is not a teacher like the Pharisees who would condemn me. He goes around with public sinners as well. So why, anyway, let me see what he looks like. That is why he climbed on a tree. It wasn't actually curiosity though, because it was Christ who was calling him inside in his heart. It was Jesus who was already speaking in the heart of Zacchaeus, making this curiosity, turning this curiosity into desire. But then, of course, Jesus takes the initiative. "Come down, Zacchaeus. I want to stay in your house." And that is a great honor, staying in one's house. That means, I want to be your guest today. But actually, it is not I who am your guest. It is you who are my guest, for you are receiver of my forgiveness and my grace. Now, I've made the reference to Pope Francis. Actually, this is the message he's preaching every day. Huge crowds in St. Peter's Square. I live next door there, and on Wednesdays and Sundays we can't even go out because of the crowds, let alone cars, but you can't even walk out. Why? Because they're fascinated by the Pope's message, which is, after all, Jesus' message. There are no outcasts in the church. That is his message. The door is open, and everyone who would like to come back to Jesus has free entrance. Actually, many people did come back to the church because of this message. Many sinners went to confession because of this message. They had been afraid. They had been rather afraid that the church had shut them out. Oh no, the church now has not, I wouldn't say now, because it's always done so, but with Pope Francis, they see that the way back is now plain. Of course, it is a free entrance, it is a free entry too, but let's see the feedback. Zacchaeus, good. I have robbed, and I shall give back what I have robbed, double and treble. And the rest I shall give to the poor. So it isn't a question of saying, all right, I was a sinner, I am no longer an outcast, but I've got to do something about it now. I've got to do something about it, because if this money is unjust money, I can't keep it in my pocket. It will burn there. The same thing, of course, was when Jesus spoke to the woman who was apprehended in adultery. Has nobody condemned you? No, sir. Nobody has condemned you. Nor shall I condemn you. But sin no more. Of course, I mean, that doesn't perhaps mean that on the morrow she gave up her job. But certainly, little by little, she did give up her job, and she became a saint. So this is the message which the Gospel today, a very simple story, tells each and every one of us, according to our desires, according to how close we want to be to Jesus. The door is open. It is Jesus who is knocking, actually, at our closed door in our hearts. But if we open, he will open his own door. We must only pray for the feedback, for our answer to be as simple but as sincere as that of Zacchaeus or of the woman who was apprehended in adultery. Now, after a moment's rest, we shall confess our faith. Oh, stay at our house, Jesus, spend time with us. Let our hearts run over with the joy you bring, and spread it to everyone, everywhere. Let me give it to the poor and to our neighbors, and the same way